Have a wonderful time. I want to dedicate this song to Florence and David. Florence requested it. So, Wind Beneath My Wings.
Bryson, it's your turn to clean that kitchen. Papa said that I have to play basketball, that I have to work tonight, so it's your turn to clean that kitchen. And Mama said, do not leave them pots in that sink and don't put them in the dishwasher. She said, wash them.
First of all, Mama didn't tell you all that.
Yes, she did.
I'm too young to wash all the dishes and put the pots away. Anyway, and
see, that's the problem.
She said
that's
she told you to do it.
Y'all must have me confused. Across the street, and if we're talking, having a good time like kids do, my neighbor would say, "You hear that?" I bet what? And we hear that truck coming, and we cut through the bushes, and we run in the house and sit down, and he said, whenever I come home, y'all better have a book in your hand. So we be like this. All right, and Daddy, we have something we want to give you really quick. So if you will, just kind of come up here. But I want to say this first, before you receive this. Don't look at the name yet. That's on the front. Okay, what you want to say about that?
We're going to present this globe to you because you mean the world to us. And we want you to be able to retire now and travel the world anywhere you want to go. So from your girls to you, we're handing you this globe.
Papa. Tamika is the one that bought this globe. I just want you.
The globe, it has somebody else's name on it. But don't worry about it. Got Michael's name on there.
Westbrook.
Yeah, Michael Westbrook. But don't worry about that name. You know, it's still yours. I mean, just think about it. Even Jesus had a borrowed tomb, and he didn't get mad, and he still got up. But that's to you.
All right, this is the PowerPoint presentation that we made. My dad kind of asked us to do something, and I told him, Daddy, you sure? And like Frank said, he knows. Are you sure you want me to do this? And he said, yeah, make everybody laugh. Okay. So the title is When Papa Not at Home. The Sampeys, a family that prays together. It all started with these two.
Standing in front of the TV.
You'll see. All right, that chest though. Okay, this is what happened. I gotta tell the story. Okay, this is what happened. See that little chested man? Well, that little chested man decided he wanted to pursue the lady that you saw on the previous slide. So he went and he knocked on her bedroom window. Everybody know. And when he knocked on the window, bam! This is what happened. Now, this is what happens when my parents go on vacation. Thank you, Frank. For the past 11 11 or so years, my parents would go on vacation. Well, during Thanksgiving. So that meant we had the house to ourselves. And this is how the conversation went every year.
Florence, what? Did you cook my children anything for Thanksgiving?
You're the one who spoiled those children. All they have to say is, Daddy, you buying Thanksgiving dinner? I know one thing, they better not tear up my house. Okay, that's every Thanksgiving. We sit at the kitchen table and we eat all Papa food for free. He has taught us how to grill chicken and ribs. So on Thanksgiving, we go out and we find his checkbook. And then we go and buy up all the food. We bake cakes. We mess up the kitchen, Mama. And we don't clean it up. We make sure we turn the stove wide open. And then Tamika goes in the kitchen and she has technical difficulties. So I don't know if you can see it really good, but right here is a fire. Sorry, Papa, she caught your kitchen on fire. Here's where we sleep and eat Papa peanuts. So, we like to sleep in their bed, and I like to sleep on his side and eat his peanuts in his pajamas. And then after we sleep in their room, we do not clean up after ourselves. Because, tell them why we don't make up the bed, Mika.
We like to remember how good we were sleeping.
Now, this one, Daddy always tell us, when you're sitting in the couch, make sure you sit up and stay out of my chairs. So here, we have Allison. That's in your chair, Papa.
That was a long time ago.
It doesn't matter. This is Uncle Jerry. Go sit down in the front room. And I called Willie today. Look how he bust down and laid on your couch. Got you, Willie. One of the most important ones. Exhibit A. Papa said, do not drive on his grass. Well, I might have, sort of, kind of, drove across your grass a little bit. You can kind of see the marks, but I apologize. And I'm going to tell you why I thought it was okay for me to drive across your grass. Because notice it says, following through from examples, your own pastor. That's him in the back. He backed up all the way on your grass, Papa. So I felt like if a man of God like that could drive on the grass, it's okay for your daughter. You're welcome, Reverend Rainey. Exhibit B. Papa taught us how to grill, or so he thought he taught us how. I like fire, so mine kind of blazed it a little bit. Tamika likes smoke, so hers kind of smoked up. But it doesn't matter, Papa, because in the end, we had some good burgers on your dime. We even dress and act like that. So we waited today until he left. As soon as he left, I went and put on his suit, top to bottom. start practicing the word. See that, Papa? Look how your suit fit me. Oh, my bad, I did get in your car. I said, got to make it to Sunday school. Because that's one thing you always taught us, even though we didn't want to go. Gotta make it to Sunday school. I wasn't the only one. Everybody always talking about my Cowboys. How about them Cowboys though? Okay, so Allison decided to sit in your chair and she went in your closet and stole your Cowboy shirt. Borrowed it. I bet it ain't one. But look at this one. I can't let the battery die. So Tamika decided to put on your stuff. Oh, we couldn't find your chaps. What you do with it? We found your bike today. And we rode it fast. Didn't you know your bike had a bell on it? I even hit the bell. But Tamika had a hard time riding. She got on your shoes too. Did you see that? She got on your Jordans and your tire flat too. And finally, good times, family times, the Sampeys. That's just a quick glimpse into our household. My dad is, as most of you know, very strict. And growing up, I always said, Dad, I can't wait for you to get old. I always said that. When you get old, I'm gonna get you. I told him, Daddy, I can't wait till you get some oxygen. Because when you get your oxygen and you turn your back, I'm gonna mash that little wire so you can't breathe. And when you in your wheelchair, I'm gonna push you off the front porch. I didn't understand when I was younger what he was trying to do. But now I look at my dad and I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I standing in front of my class teaching my students standing like this? Or with my hands on my hip? Or I laugh and bend over or I say something. And then I realize I am my daddy. I am my daddy. So Daddy, I want you to know that I promise you, when you get older, I will not push you off the front porch. Your oxygen, I owe you though. So I won't hold it but about 3 seconds. That's it. Okay? I'll make sure you eat and I'll take care of you. But I'm going to hold that oxygen for 3 seconds. Thank you for paying attention.
So you guys kind of put your hands together and kind of give me a little clap. All right, thank you. How I got over. How did I make it over? You know my soul look back and wonder, how did I make it over? How I made it over? Coming on over all these years. You know my soul look back and wonder, how did I make it over? Tell me how I got over, Lord. I had a mighty hard time coming on over. You know my soul look back and wonder, how man. Oh, thank my God, how he kept me. I'm gonna thank him 'cause he never left me. And I'm gonna thank God for whole time religion. I'm gonna thank God for giving me a vision. But then I joined the heavenly choir, and I'm gonna sing and never get tired. And then I'm gonna sing somewhere around God's altar, and I'm gonna shout, oh my soul over. You know we gotta thank God. Thank you for being so good to me. Oh, how I had to cry the midnight hour. Come on over to know my soul. Look back and wonder, how did I make it over? I'm gonna wear a dark garment in that new Jerusalem. I'm gonna walk the streets of gold. I'm gonna sing that I'll never be tired. And then I'm gonna sing somewhere around God's altar. And I'm gonna shout, hold on, you know we gotta thank God. Thank you for being so good to me.
Good evening
Good evening.
to all my family and friends. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight, helping us celebrate. This is a celebration. My husband retirement. I've known David Sampey, I think I was in the 8th grade. He was a little boy in the 7th grade. And I told my brother Jerry, he used to ride motorcycles. He had a little Yamaha, 70. I told my brother Jerry, go tell that guy, that black guy on that motorcycle. I said, come here. And he ran up to the edge of the road, near the end of the road, and told him, my sister said, come here. So here he is. I want everybody to know my husband had a dream, a vision. He always wanted a family. We have 3 girls and 1 son. He loved his people. Anyone that know David know that he loves them. He shows it. And I want to thank my sister that's here from, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. Don't call people names. But my sister flew in from California, her husband, and my niece. All right. And I want to thank all the relatives that came out to help us celebrate. God is a good God. And I want to thank my church family for helping me pray my husband back home, because God will answer prayer. Yes, it will. I mean, it's been many nights that I was on top of that little hill by myself. Nobody but me and Jesus. My mama taught me how to pray. And I would get on my knees and ask him, please bring my husband back home, because we was always together. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, family and friends, for coming out tonight, helping us celebrate his retirement. Thank you, Buster Brown.
I really don't know how to begin with all I have to say, because first I know that I thank God that I made it. I thank God that He watched over me and He kept me. There were a lot of things that I kept from my family while I was traveling. I pulled a 40-foot fifth wheel through the snow, through the rain, round mountains, and I was supposed to be at a hotel sleeping, but I would still be rolling. So God kept me, and I'm so grateful that He has allowed me to be here. But my previous pastor taught me not to call names, but I have to do this because it has so much to do with my success on my journey. And at this table here, and the reason I have them sitting there is because they are a special guest. Without some of these that are sitting here, I would not be as successful as I am. When I was working, and I'm trying to go somewhere, when I was working for a company called Bender Shipbuilding, I was struggling. We was living check by check. And Mr. Griffith and I, we go way back. And one thing I learned in life is that you never know who you may need down the road. That's right. That's right. I could have very easily mistreated Mr. Griffith, but I treated him just like he was my son. And when times got hard for me, it was Mr. Griffith and Mr. Keenan that wasn't able to make it that gave me an opportunity. Now, I'm wise and have enough smarts to know that I did not receive that job because I was so worthy, but because God allowed me to have favor. He allowed favor. And because of that favor, there was other guys that was in line that had been working for this company way longer than I had. But they chose me. So I want to show my appreciation and thank them for what they have done. And then that's not the end of the story. I'm gonna be brief. Once Mr. Griffith stepped down, he turned the reign over to Mr. Hood. And Mr. Hood did not know me. But because of what Frank told him about me, he became my best friend. And whenever I went out on a job, he would always tell me he got my back. There was nothing, never that he promised me or told me that he was going to do that he did not do. Amen. And even after telling him that I wanted to retire, last Friday I was in his office and I was trying to make all kind of excuses. I said I got Medicaid and I done already filed for my Social Security. But Mr. Hood, he extended his hand out to me. He said, Sampey, he said, you go take care of your health and you come back and we're going to create a job for you. We're going to make a position for you. And that's nothing but love. And then Miss Angie Bedgood. She's our human resource. And there have been some times that there have been some complaints against me from some of the workers. And because how she knew me and cared for me, she always had my back. I've heard her say that, I know Mr. Sampey. I know he did not say this nor do that. And that meant so much to me. And for her to even take me by my hand, she said, we going to Mr. Hood's office and talk to him. And she did. She left out of her office, taking me into his office and explained to him what was going on the job. So I want her to know that I will never, never, never forget her and the kindness and the love that she has shown me.
All right.
I'm trying to keep from crying because there have been some people in my life that's been good to me. That has really helped me. And for Frank's son, Ben, to think enough of me, to call me Uncle Sampey, that meant a lot. I was in Bremerton, Washington, and his baby brother, he was in this hot rod truck. I did not know he was there. So I stopped at the light, and I'm on my Harley. And this white guy in this truck hollering at me. I'm saying, wow, I wonder if he's going to try to run over me. So he recognized me, but I did not recognize him. So he whooped over in front of me and pulled beside me. Then I looked and saw who he was, and we began to grin and laugh. But they have always been such a close family to me. And then there's another young man that was very, very close to me. Ever since I would begin to work for Bender Shipbuilding, I owned a 1300 Kawasaki. He owned a Harley. So he said to me, he said, Sampey, take my bike for a ride. And anybody that ride a Harley know that you don't let anybody ride your bike. So he said, take my bike for a ride. The next week I owned a Harley. But this guy, he's not here tonight. God has called him home. But I want his wife, Miss Ann Nelson, to stand. This is his wife. And I want her to know that I know that this is a short time. And I know you know how close we were. And for you to come out and share with us tonight, it made my heart overbubble. And I just want you to know I really, really appreciate you, and that the same love that I had for Joe, I have for you and your family also. Brad, I appreciate y'all so much. Now, my family, my girls, my son that's not able to be here, they have meant the world to me. And they told you that I was a family man. I love those girls. I love my son. But most of all, I love my wife. This lady, she has stood by me. She has had my back through thick and thin. I have not always done the right thing. I have not always lived so holy. But through it all, through it all,
Through it all.
she's always been here for me.
Uh-huh.
And I thank God for her.
Uh-huh.
And I will always love her and cherish her the rest of my life.
Uh-huh.
And I want to say this to all of you, my relatives. I have relatives here from Seattle, Washington, Pasco, Washington, Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, Alberta, Frisco City, Monroe. I have people from all around. I told my wife this morning, I felt like it was my funeral. I said, all these people's at my house, and this is the way it's going to be when I die. So they all been telling me, David, don't think that way. But when you have done something for 46 years, I have been in the blast and paint business. And it's my family. And I love them like I love my family. So I want to say to all of you that without all of you have played some kind of part in my life, and I want you to know that I appreciate it. And I'm so grateful for all of you to be here and to share this moment with me. Because I never thought that this day would ever come. But God knows, and God is able. And I say to you, I'm grateful and I'm thankful, and I want my pastor, Elder Rainey, and my church family to know that I appreciate them and the prayers that they sent up for me while I was on the road. And they have prayed me back home. But I do want y'all to know that Mr. Mike Hood in IMIA is still holding on. So to all of you, I love you. I appreciate you. The band is going to play, and I want us all to join in and have fun.
You too.
My wife and I, she wants me to have the first dance with her. And once we dance, we expect for everyone else to come and join us. And we have Reverend Power, Pastor Power, and his wife. They a little late getting here, but they're here. And they love to take the dance floor. So they're going to come up and join us when the band begin to play. Thank you all. I love you all, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you.